some bench press. I've been trying to kind of work in my strength pieces with my conditioning, but I feel like I've been doing a lot of conditioning and my body's a little bit tired. Tired's okay, but I was telling Pat, I kind of want to do a bench press day and also just work on our back. So we've been doing some bodybuilding stuff, but usually pretty mixed in. So today is gonna be 100% a strength day, more chest and back, which I'm really looking forward to. So I've got a couple ideas. My ideas don't always go through. He usually fine tunes them a little bit, so we'll kind of see what we get into, but geared towards bench and back. So I'm excited. Before bench days, I think it's really important to open up your shoulders. So these are a lot of the stretches I like to do with my classes when I get to coach my classes. We're still doing stretches on Zoom, maybe a little bit different because not everybody has a pull-up bar to hang a band from, but I like to spend time opening my chest. So I'm just kind of pressing my palm into the band, and I feel this all through my pec just to make sure I'm ready for the bench pressing. Then I'll take this into a lat stretch. So I'll flip the other direction. I'm sure you guys have seen me do it before, but I'll flip, I'll come down to one knee, leaving the same arm in the band. And now from here, I'm just gonna gently let the band pull my arm as I drive my chest towards my front knee. I did a lot of pull-ups, it feels so good. We'll probably do some pull-ups at the end of the day too, so I wanna make sure my lats are ready to go. And you use your lats a lot more in bench press than you actually think you do. A lot of people think it's just chest, but there's gonna be a little bit of lat engagement, so I wanna make sure those are loose. And then I'll typically spin this around my body the other way and hit the front of my shoulder. So now I'll roll in. This, I just think about kind of spreading my shoulder blades apart. And it's almost like if you've ever done thread the needle or the stretch where you put the front of your shoulder on the floor. It's kind of like that, but standing with a little bit of band resistance. This is probably my favorite stretch. It feels so good. So I'll go through that stretching on each arm, and then I'm gonna do some T-spine rotations and some kettlebell carries, but I don't really carry because I don't have a lot of space to carry in my garage. So I march in place and just try to maintain the same activation that I would be if I was walking. So I'll show you guys what that looks like in a second. So right here, I'm just thinking about, I think I've talked to you guys through this one before, but serratus we use a lot in CrossFit. And actually it's probably, I don't know the percentage or the exact number, but it's definitely something a lot of us don't activate. It's a muscle that sits way deep in here, and it's responsible for our front rack when it's uneven. So I like to think about kind of pushing forward and scooping, and I'll feel my lat and my serratus kick on. So there should be a difference there. So I'll just kind of hang out in place here. This is also strengthening my wrist, which in bench press, sometimes I get a little bit of discomfort in my wrist if I haven't warmed them up. So this is a good way to warm up my wrist to get ready for the bar as well. So I'll spend 30 to 60 seconds per arm, and then I'll do my T-spine rotations to make sure my upper back's nice and open. Bench. I want a bench and row. So like 3 sets of 6.
I like the 3 sets in one, the narrow, medium, wide. So right back to back.
Narrow, medium, wide. So narrow. I do all my narrow, then all my medium, all my wide.
Re-rack it, medium grip, re-rack it, wide grip, 7, 7, 7.
What weight?
Something pretty light, maybe build over 3 sets.
Okay, I like that. That'll be fun. So 3 sets, 7, 7, 7. And then banded.
Finish with a set of like 100 in as few sets as possible.
Okay, maybe some pull-ups on then?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like good. That sounds pretty good.
Cool.
All right, so we decided, I suggested 3 sets of 7, and Pat came up with 3 sets of 7, 7, 7. So that actually is 3 sets of 21 kind of, but it'll be really good. It's really fun to switch up the stimulus and the different hand position because we're gonna work all different areas of the pec and the chest. So we're gonna go 3 sets of 7 narrow bench press. So narrow, I'll show you guys on the bar, but it's gonna be inside of where the knurling or the rough meets the smooth. So we're gonna be at a more narrow position than we normally would be. Then we're gonna do 7, so we'll do our narrow, rock the bar, reset our grip into a regular hand position. For my regular, I usually go like a thumbs width distance where the smooth meets the rough, so I'll show you guys on the bar. Rack the bar, and then we're gonna go 7 wide. My least favorite, but it's good. It's good to work all the different, so wide grip bench press, which I'll also show you, will be closer to the smooth rings with our pinky finger. I'll do a set, and then we'll change the plates, and then he'll do a set. We're each gonna do 3 sets, and we're gonna superset. We didn't decide on the exact movement yet, but it's gonna be some rowing for our lats and our back to offset our chest. So it'll probably be potentially a banded kettlebell or dumbbell row, maybe at an angle. So we'll see, I'll talk to him about that. But this will be a really good way to start the session. And I'm excited to work on some shoulders and some chest and some back. I kind of explained it a little bit before we started the workout, but I'm a visual person, so for those of you who are visual, I want to show you as well. I think it's important to remember for the weight choices, I definitely stayed lighter than maybe I normally would want to, because today is focused on a speed day. The reps should be fast, you should never be coming close to failure, and we're doing higher sets. So we're doing 21 reps at a time, which is on the higher end or higher volume of sets that we normally do. We do sets of 3 to 5 for pure strength, and we're in 20 plus range for this speed day today. We want to think dynamic and explosive. So for the grips, let me show you. So for narrow, when I set up, I want to think about pulling my shoulders under, then I'm going to find the bar right over my eyes. My pointer finger is going to go right where the smooth meets the rough. From here, I do wrap my thumb around the bar. Take a big deep breath as you unrack, okay? For our regular grip, I find the smooth meets the rough, and I'm gonna put my thumb about a thumb's width distance. Then I'm gonna wrap my thumb around the bar, slide my shoulders under my back, and again, release the bar. Then for my wide grip, I'm gonna come out even wider. So my ring finger is gonna go right on the first smooth line. If you're much taller than me, maybe a tiny bit wider, but right on the first smooth line. So from here, I can tuck my shoulders under, engaging my lats, and lift my bar off. I think the biggest thing to use is use the knurling as your guide, and then make adjustments as you need to.
All right, so Christy's going over where our grip positioning was, and the reason we're doing that is we're starting off in our weakest position since the weight is light. And as we get more tired in our next set, we move out to a stronger position. So even though the weight's light, it's still gonna be difficult because we've accumulated a lot of reps. And a few other things that we want to think about that she's being super diligent about is we're tucking our shoulder blades back into our back so that they're on the bench, and we're using our big muscles, being our lats, as much as we can. We don't want to put all the emphasis just on our chest and our shoulder. We want to recruit our big muscles, and a lot of those are on the back side.
A lot of people in the gym always are like, Chrissy, I can't feel it. Like, I know what you're talking about, but I can't feel it. So one test that I learned from my good buddy Sam Dancer is if you take your thumb and you put it on your pec, and then you bring your fingers onto your lat. From here, I want to think about pushing down and back. I immediately feel my lat kick on. I feel my pec engaged. So when I'm pulling my shoulders under the bar, that's the feeling that I'm looking for. It's just like if I'm trying to slide my arm down and turn my lats on. Now I know my shoulders aren't all the way up to my ears. I'm not using my traps, but I'm using the muscles that I should be using when I'm doing these bench press to get the stimulus where I want it, and also to protect my shoulders and keep myself safe. So give that little exercise a try.
I see loopholes, Grammys, I'ma need 2 of those. Told me pray to reload. I should praise God, but I'm too dope, ooh Lord. I got the juice crates on me. I'm just trying to blow up some with the homies. Do it ain't enough, yo, I'ma need emojis. I can't choose me a guy who holy. All I do, I ain't really wanna fight through. I just wanna throw it on cruise, be alright too. Boy, don't let you hang loose. Can't be rich and die too. What I lose. He say he can't buy booze. Check my fruit. I ain't really burn on the branch. Must be something at the rules. Tell me what they.
All right, guys, if you want a really good pump, you should do the finisher we just did. My arms, they are super pumped. So it was 4 rounds. I did 20 to 25 push-ups with a band across my back. We used our trapdoor rings, just hooked the band from one to the other. I slid right under it as fast as I could. So these need to be dynamic and quick. And then I'd hop up, and I went right into 25 to 30 face pulls. So athletic stance, thinking about using the back of my shoulder because the push-ups are taxing all of the front of my body. So we wanna make sure we work the posterior as well. I do 25 to 30 reps there, rest while pat weight, and then I do it again. The goal is to have intensity, to move fast, and to be explosive and dynamic. It's an awesome finisher. It's gonna load you with blood and you're gonna get an awesome pump. I think this is super fun because it took the focus off of a Metcon, but you can hear I'm out of breath. My muscles are pumped. It's a different type of hard. It's not necessarily the aerobic conditioning breathing hard. I'm still breathing hard, but my muscles are at absolute fatigue. They are tired and they've been worked and it feels so good.
So these are really fun. It adds a ton to your training. We didn't even use anything but a band in our trapdoor hooks today. We've already done a video on these and how to install them, but it's super easy. The ring will fold in and be actually flush with the floor when there's nothing attached to it. And all I'm doing is cutting out a little rubber circle for it to fit flush in, drilling 4 holes and screwing them down. We have these on our site if you guys want them. They're a ton of fun. They add a lot to your training.
This was a dynamic day from our strength accessory program. Both of the things we use, the trapdoor rings that Pat just talked about and the cable machine that you guys saw me using, we did a DIY video on that. If you haven't seen it, scroll down. It's, I think, home gym essentials for under $50. Super easy, you guys can make them yourself so you can get in these awesome exercises as well. If you're looking for another strength accessory program or stuff like that we did today, make sure you check that out. It's super, super awesome. And I think the biggest thing right now is keep your training constantly varied. Like I talked about earlier, this is not my typical CrossFit day, but it was so fun and it makes me want to do more tomorrow and it keeps me motivated and it keeps me enjoying fitness. So I think if you guys are feeling stale or you're feeling burnt out, try something new, something different, work your muscles in a different way, and hopefully that'll leave you feeling with all those good endorphins and it'll leave you wanting to come back for more tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great day. Comment below with any questions you guys have and we'll see you guys soon.